In this video, we talk about the final major stage of the machine learning lifecycle, deployments. The deployment module represents the stage where a model has already been trained and evaluated. At this point, the user has configured the required data source, created the experiment, trained multiple machine learning models, and evaluated their performance through the previous modules. Once the user is satisfied with the model's performance, they can deploy the selected model so that it can be used repeatedly for generating predictions from external or internal applications. The deployments module is therefore designed to operationalize the machine learning models trained within WizeMLOps. Let's quickly walk through the deployment creation process by selecting Add Deployment. The workflow diagram provides an overview of the process. First, the user selects an experiment. Next, they choose one of the models that was trained as part of that experiment. The user can then select the preferred or best performing model for deployment. Finally, the selected model is deployed and made available for consumption. When we click Next, we can see the list of available experiments. For this demonstration, I will select this particular experiment. After selecting the experiment, the left side panel displays the corresponding model performance information. This helps the user review the experiment before deciding which model should be deployed. The best performing model is also clearly highlighted within the experiment results. We can now continue to the next step, which is Select Model. Here we can see all the models that were trained for the selected experiment and problem type. The user has the flexibility to deploy any of these models depending on the project requirements. For this demonstration, I will select Light GBM. The final configuration step is to provide an appropriate name for the deployment. Once the deployment name has been provided and the user clicks Finish, the deployment process begins in the backend. After successful deployment, the user receives an independent model endpoint, allowing the deployed model to be accessed outside the WizeMLOps application. For this demonstration, we already have a deployment available, so let's quickly review it. When we click the View option, WizeMLOps displays the details of the selected deployment. The page also provides an input area where users can enter data and immediately test it against the deployed machine learning model. This option is primarily intended for testing the deployed model directly from within the WizeMLOps interface. Users can provide the required input data and verify the prediction returned by the deployed model. However, deployments are not limited to usage within the WizeMLOps user interface. They can also be accessed and consumed by external applications and systems. For this purpose, WizeMLOps provides the required API information along with sample curl commands, where the necessary input data can be provided to invoke the deployed model. This is particularly important because WizeMLOps is designed as an API-first platform. This means that the capabilities available within the platform are not restricted to the WizeMLOps graphical interface. External systems, enterprise applications, or other platforms can interact with the deployed machine learning models through APIs. The deployment module is therefore an important part of the API-first architecture of WizeMLOps. Once a model is deployed, its API endpoint can be integrated into the customer's own applications, business processes, enterprise systems, or other platforms. This allows external applications to consume the machine learning model without requiring users to directly access the WizeMLOps interface every time a prediction is required. As we have seen in this deployment module, WizeMLOps enables users to take a model that has already been trained and validated and convert it into an operational deployment. The platform creates the deployment and exposes the required endpoint for external consumption. External systems can then send the required input data to this endpoint and receive predictions from the deployed machine learning model. This completes the deployments module and also concludes the end-to-end machine learning lifecycle demonstrated within WizeMLOps. From data ingestion and exploration, through experimentation and prediction, to production-ready model deployment. Thank you for watching.